Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video all about tips and tricks for brand new influencers. Now the word influencer is kind of weird because I don't even know if I'm considered an influencer. I just kind of post pictures of my makeup on the internet and people like it sometimes. So yeah, we're just going to roll with it. Now I'm not a super big page. I have about 60k on Instagram, which isn't huge. There's obviously a ton of people with like millions and millions, but there are obviously some helpful tips and tricks that can help to boost you up and help you to grow and get to where you want to be. So take these tips with a grain of salt. Maybe they'll help you, maybe they won't, but I just want to share these with you because I wish I had a video like this that I could refer to when I was first starting out. So without further ado, let's just jump right in and get into the first tip. Alright, so the first tip I have is to have a schedule. Structure really helps when you're someone who's going to be posting online. Now this can be true for Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever your main social platform is. Mine happens to be Instagram. So I know that each week I need to have at least something to post every single day. If not, I'll skip a day or something, but I tend to try and post every single day. So having a schedule of when you can get your content together and ready to be posted is really important. So what I do, since I am a full-time student as well as I do this, I tend to do school during the week and then I'll have a few days off that I will do my editing, my looks, all that kind of stuff. So you kind of have to see what schedule you have. You might be working, you might be in school as well. It's kind of hard to juggle sometimes, but once you get that schedule down, like maybe set aside weekends to do your looks and editing, and during the rest of the week do your homework, schoolwork, regular work, whatever you have to do, but try to find time to be creative. I know it's hard to like be actively creative when you set aside time. Sometimes you're just not in the mood, but sometimes setting aside time can make you look forward to it and more excited to create. So definitely try and create a schedule for yourself. It'll make it a whole lot easier in the long run. So for my next tip, it is to grow on several platforms and not just one. This is something that I wish I would have done in the beginning. I accidentally started growing on other platforms that I didn't mean to, but I wish I would have started sooner. So my main platform is Instagram, as you guys might know, but I wish I would have created my YouTube channel, created my Twitter to be all involved in my makeup stuff ahead of time, because then I would have been able to grow those along with my Instagram instead of just growing my Instagram and now trying to grow my YouTube and my Twitter. It makes it a little bit more difficult when all your audience is on one social platform. It's better to grow on several because not everyone uses the same social platforms. So it's really important to try and grow on all of them, gain as much audience as you can, and try and get your work out there. Even if you don't plan on doing YouTube right this second, set up a channel, have it ready so people will start subscribing to it. It's really important to have social platforms that kind of intertwine and go together, all belong to you, to make it easier for your audience to find you on different platforms, to help you overall just grow in the long run. So another tip I have for you guys, and this might take some time, is to find your best posting time for optimal interaction. So this is obviously going to take some time to learn. For me, I'm on the Eastern time zone, so I try to post at a certain time so that it can reach the West Coast as well as over in the UK area. It kind of takes some time to learn and see what your followers like. Your demographic might be different than my demographic. You might have a more UK-based demographic, and it just depends. So you really just got to experiment with different times. Try posting at noon, try posting in the morning, try posting in the evening. I feel that evening does best for most people, so maybe try that first. But definitely try out a couple different posting times and just see what fits you the best, and try to keep note and do your research and see what gets the best interaction and what time your followers are the most active. It's really important to know that if you are going to be doing social media, you need to know when people are going to be there to see your work. It's really discouraging when you go to post something and all your followers aren't even paying attention to the social media site that you posted to. Say Instagram, when I post in the morning, sometimes absolutely no one sees it, and it's so upsetting because I feel like I can't repost it. I just have to leave it, and it gets really discouraging. So try your best to just do your research, find your best posting time, experiment with a couple different times when you're first starting out, and you will eventually figure it out for your demographic. So another really important tip that I feel is kind of obvious, but not everyone might know this. You want to have a professional email that you can give to brands to work with them. You don't want to have your 10-year-old middle school email that you used to use for webkins and give that to brands. You want to have a really professional email because that's like your first impression to a brand. If they see someone named honeybaby27 or softball girl 19 and they go to email you, they're not really going to take you seriously. Create a separate email for your social media stuff. That's what I do. Have notifications notifications on so you're ready when brands want to email you. Have it your first and last name, have it your specific username. Again, your email is a first impression to what the brand sees of you, of what the gist that they get from you as a creator. So you want it to come off super professional, super business oriented. Keep your business emails in one email and the rest of your emails in a separate email. It keeps everything super organized. Your workflow will be a lot easier, and all around it just makes things a lot more professional if this is something that you're looking into doing. So on the topic of emails, it's a good time to introduce my next tip, which is to not get caught up in brand emails. A lot of the times when you're first starting out, you don't get a ton of emails, and when you finally get one from a brand, it's super exciting, it's super cool, it makes you feel like you're actually getting somewhere, and it's just an amazing feeling. But do not get caught up in them, because a lot of the times they will be kind of scammy, try to use you, try to get you to do free content for them in exchange for a product. Do not sell yourself short. Just because you have a small following does not mean that you don't deserve to be paid for the work that you're putting out. They're obviously reaching out to you because you're creative, because you're worth something, and because they see potential in you. So do not sell yourself short. Don't be afraid to send them out your rates, even if it's like $20 for a picture because you only have a few followers. You need to put a value on your work, and don't just do things for free. That's something that I made a huge mistake when I was first starting out, because I got super excited that brands wanted to work with me, and then I found myself spending hours and hours creating content for them and not getting anything in return. If anything, it would be like some lipstick or something, and like that's cool, and if that's what you want to do, if you're okay with getting product in return for your work, then that's fine. I can do a whole video on working with brands, emails, stuff like that. If you're interested in that, let me know down below. I have a lot I can say on that topic, but basically do not sell yourself short. Don't let them scam you. Don't sign any contract that doesn't involve money, and try not to do things for free. I mean, they're obviously reaching out to you because they know that you're good, and just don't sell yourself short. So my next tip I have for you guys is to have a good username and make sure that you're branding yourself. This is something that I wish I did in the beginning, because a lot of you guys probably don't know that my first username when I started Instagram was makeup_by_Drew, and I hated that username. It was so long, and I wanted something short, concise, easy to recognize. So that's how I kind of created my new username, which is Mcdrew. I have that on all of my social platforms. When you have a username that's super long, has a lot of numbers, has a lot of like extra characters, it's kind of hard for a brand to search and find you. It makes it a lot more work than someone with a really short, concise, easy to read username. So kind of keep that in mind when you are setting up your username. If you are still small, it's not too late to change your username. Having a unique username can be very beneficial. Like if you have something for, say, like how mine used to be Makeup by Drew, there's a lot of people with Makeup by in front of their username. If you'll get reposted, they'll accidentally tag someone else and you won't get the credit for it. It's just easy to get mixed up in the shuffle when a lot of people have Makeup by, Beat by, Cake by. Like, I don't know, that's just like a very common thing in the beauty community, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But sometimes branching off and doing something a little bit different is better business-wise. Also, that way you're not totally confined to makeup. If you do decide to do something else in the future, you're not completely branded and stuck into the makeup community because you have Makeup by, Beat by, whatever in your username. Try to think of it like a nickname that you wouldn't mind being called, something like that. So try to think of something a little bit more unique, something that brands will recognize quickly and will be easy to type into the search bar when brands are trying to look you up and search for you. So another important tip I think we all know is hashtags. Now, it's really important to do your research with hashtags. They're always changing. The popular ones are always changing. I would just do your research, see which ones are popular at the moment, see what other people are hashtagging, and also look up the hashtags that brands search for, because I know that Benefit looks up Benefit Brows, Anastasia searches Anastasia Brows. Like, there's certain hashtags that brands will actively search for to find new content to repost onto their page. So go to the brands that you like, do your research on what branded hashtags that they have and they might have saved that they're following on their page. You can see it in their following section of their profile. So just kind of do your research, see what hashtags are popping, what brands are following, to help your content get seen by brands and perhaps get a repost, which can then help you to grow your page. This is obviously more of an Instagram tip. A lot of these are more Instagram tips just because that's what I'm most comfortable with, but some of them might be able to be applied to YouTube, Twitter, wherever your main social platform is. So another tip I have for you guys might be easier said than done, and it's something that I kind of struggle with myself, is to post good content. I mean, that's kind of like a given, like you don't want to just post whatever, but it's really important to post things that are a little bit different. Try not to just continuously do gold smoky eyes. Although gold smoky eyes might be gorgeous and you're really good at doing them, people like to see things that are a little bit different. People will be more drawn to you if you're doing things a little bit more unique, things that are a little bit more outside the box. The beauty community is absolutely saturated with so many people. There's so much talent out there. It's kind of hard to be seen sometimes. So doing something a little bit more creative, out of the box, can help you to be seen a little bit more easily. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your looks. It's obviously fine to do a little bit more of a natural look, but try to experiment more with makeup. Try to have fun with it. Try to do something different. Even if you are doing natural makeup, try to find a way to spice it up and make it different than the stuff that we all see on Instagram. Try to find a way to stand out, if that makes sense. I know it's easier said than done, but just experiment a little bit more and see what you can come up with. For example, look at someone like James Charles. He's always doing something super different, super creative, and that's why he's grown so much and has such a large audience, because he's always doing something fun and new. People are super drawn to that. So if you can find a way to do that in your own work, that will be the most beneficial. Again, it's easier said than done. It's something that I struggle with myself, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so another tip I have if you want to be an influencer is to stick to a specific genre of your account. For instance, I'm a makeup person, so I post mainly makeup photos. I mean, fashion and makeup can kind of intertwine. I've been doing some more fashion-y things on my makeup page, which people like, but you don't want to, for instance, mix motorbikes and makeup. You don't want to mix baby videos and makeup. You know, it's kind of hard to find an audience that likes both. It's easier to find an audience that likes one of the two. So it's okay to create maybe several accounts if you want to have a baby account and your makeup account, or if you just have a personal account like me where I post all my extra photos, and then I have my makeup account where I just post my fashion makeup type photos, if that makes sense. When I first started, I decided to have my personal account and a makeup account. I created my makeup account completely fresh. I had absolutely no followers on it, and I didn't start it on my personal account because I thought to myself, if this fails, if I absolutely hate this, my personal account, all the people that I follow from school and stuff like that, they're going to be completely saturated with my makeup stuff. They're probably going to unfollow, and then I'm going to be left with this dead account if makeup doesn't work out for me. So in my mind, it made sense to make a brand new account. Some people start on their personal account and just keep that and roll with that. So you just kind of have to see what works best for you. If you have a decent following on your personal account, then maybe go with that. But there is a risk, you know, it might not work out, and then you kind of lose your personal account. Then you have to start all over again. I don't know. It's totally up to you, but keep in mind that having one genre on your account is very important. If you're going to do makeup, stick to makeup. Don't post pictures of your dog. I know that he's cute, but your followers are following you for makeup, so stick to that. And lastly, the final tip that I have for you guys is to have a passion for it, or you're absolutely going to hate this. It might not seem like a ton of work, but it takes hours and hours and hours of working with brands, talking with representatives, emailing, creating looks, editing, thinking of ideas, cleaning brushes, cleaning makeup, putting makeup away. There's like a lot that goes into it. It's just like hours and hours of work, and it's super fun when you enjoy it. Like, it's something that I love to do, and I don't care that I spend most of my life doing this. Even if it wasn't something that I could make money off of and create a job out of, I would still do this for free. I love being able to be creative and wearing my creations on my face. And if you can find a way to support yourself doing something that you absolutely love, that's the ultimate goal that everyone wants to achieve. So if makeup is not something that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life, don't get into it. I mean, obviously it's okay to try things out and get a feel for things, and maybe it doesn't work out. But if you know deep down that this is something that you do not want to do, don't pursue it, don't put time into it, because it can be really expensive, really time consuming. And if it's not something you are super into and want to do for hours and hours on end, you're going to end up hating it, and it's just going to ruin the passion that you might have had originally. So just be sure it's something you really love and something that you want to put a lot of time into, because it definitely takes a lot of time, but it's super fun and rewarding at the same time. So be sure that it's something that you absolutely love and are willing to put your all into. Alright guys, so that's it on my video on some tips and tricks for influencers that are just starting out. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I have a lot more tips that I can include, so if you guys want me to do a part 2, let me know down below in the comments and I will do that for you guys. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps me out so much. And also don't forget to turn on the notifications so you're notified every time that I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!